What's up, everybody? This is your girl Ericka from the Classy Climb blog, author of the Smartphone Millionaire book, How to Invest in People, Businesses, and Real Estate from the Palm of Your Hand. You guys can hear me with my new microphone. Drop a one in the comments and let me know if you can hear me well. It's been a crazy weekend. Your girl's still recovering, but I was in Las Vegas, and this video is talking about buyer's remorse. In the chat, without looking at your Instagram, without looking at your Facebook, can you tell me what you ate and drank 72 hours ago? Can you tell me what you had 3 days ago? Can you tell me what your thoughts were, your feelings, your emotions 3 days ago? Most people know. Majority of people out here, if you ask them, hey man, what did you have, Saturday? They got to stop and think about it. I don't even know. Because 90 and this is why most trainings, most weekend conferences are 2 or 3 days. That's it, right? They're 2 or 3 days. That's it. They don't really go too long. And because the excitement, the energy, you're building up to this big thing, and then you have to absorb the information. So I was in Las Vegas this past weekend. And one of the biggest things I keep talking about all the time to you guys, I know I get on your nerves, is what is your why? And how do you create why statements? Part of what I try to talk to you guys about is, why are you doing what you do? Now, you're going to ask most people, they're going to say, my kids, my wife, my this, my that, really simplistic answers that aren't their true whys, right? And 9 times out of 10, your why is a verb and then to be, right? And I got this from Kalani, who got it from somebody else. She was a speaker on stage this past weekend. And we can go a simple one, right? To whatever, to expose millions of people to the possibility of having more income, being able to invest from their phone. 9 times out of 10, the people that are at the conference speaking this past weekend, which really blew my mind, were young people. A lot of them were older people, 40s, 50s, but there were some standouts who were 25 and 26 and 27 years old. And what I realized is they weren't experiencing that 72-hour buyer's remorse. Most of them were 21 and 22, and they said, I'm going to do this every single day. They took out the fear factor. They completely hyper-focused on what they were doing. Same thing here for me for YouTube. When people say, man, you got all these YouTube videos, I just hyper-focused and completely every day, whether I felt like it or don't feel like it, or I'm busy or I'm not, I would put out videos. Some great, some not so great. And what I realized in the comments, earlier I posted about him 500 and Wall Street Chapter buying land. And I knew what the comments would be, right? Complaining, right? We just had a movie called out, The Harder They Fall. Great movie. For what it's worth, right? Even Super Sly making a whole video complaining about it. And what I realized is the make money industry, make more money, or what we call that. Those on the inside call it make more money. The make more money industry. Oh, it's a little harsh here. Hold on. We service a lot of complainers. A lot of people that need that 72-hour, well, is this course for a lifetime? Can I get a refund on the course if I don't like it? Oh my God, I spent $100 on this course. And every dollar counts. And every time I bring on somebody for Tech Tuesday, to show you step by step how to make $80,000 to $150,000 a year income, people go, man, Ericka, you always bringing these people with courses on. And I made a video and I said, I think it's called People Be Selling Courses, right? I was making fun of it. 99% of people don't care, are on autopilot. I was in Las Vegas this weekend, and the guy who created the event was so excited. He posted this event and he was like, why are y'all charging me so much? And later the staff were like, look at your date. And he says, okay, what are you talking about? Well, the date had the fight in there, 6 other conferences in there. It had, UFC fight. It had like it had like 7 events going on. Las Vegas was jumping. So the flights were twice the price. The hotel rooms, twice the price. Everybody that was really there at that event wanted to be at that event. So while we were there, they had a thing called the Pest Fest. And we really looked out the window. We're like, who is, it's like 1,000 people out there. What's going on? So we look it up. The Pest Fest or pest control. So yes, even pest control has a conference where they conjoin together in Las Vegas, thousands of people to help each other be better pest control folks. And I laughed, but I was like, that's just it. Everybody out here who isn't here for a conference is out here just drinking, walking around, got a Mexican flag draped on their back. They're just, there for the event. Now you could tell from, and then, okay, also the SEMA. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting stuff. That's how quick 72 hours is, right? SEMA was there the week before. That's why the tickets were so expensive. SEMA is, it's basically where people have, and I'm gonna give you not the official name, but basically SEMA had modifications. People had cars out there with $100,000 of modifications, $50,000 of modifications, 1920s cars out there, 1930s, 1940s. And the whole time I'm at the event, I'm walking around and people talk to the owners of the cars or the company that brought the car out. They would talk about, man, this is so amazing, or they would see a black person. I mean, I'm just going to go there. They would see a black person standing beside one of these cars. They're like, are you an athlete? Are you a rapper, a basketball player, a musician? And they would laugh. The black person would be like, no, I'm a business owner. I literally sat beside people who were absolute. One of the guys that I talked about in the other video, he lived in Arizona, but he has a construction company and a semi-truck company in Houston, Texas. Don't even live there. His other state he lives in is Colorado. His wife and their 4 kids, they live a good life. The woman that was across from him, she's 37. Half the time they live in Texas, the other half they live in Alaska. I met several business owners like that. So what would happen is you have these average everyday people walking around seeing these cars, taking pictures with these cars, like, yeah, But the people who came to Las Vegas with the cars were business owners. The people at the Pest Fest are business owners. The people who had money in the hotel. Like, I asked for an upgrade from like 5 different people. And they were like, honey, it's not possible. Every upgrade has already been upgraded. You just booked your hotel like 2 days ago. I said, well, I didn't know there was a fight here. I didn't know there were 6 conferences going on. I didn't know, right? Because I'm zoned in depth in my own business. Okay? Do y'all like earrings? Got some white. Put on the white for y'all. And what I want people to understand is you could walk around the SEMA event, which had a really cool Tesla thing they had going on. And you could have walked around the conference all weekend, and you could see the difference in people who were on target on a weekend, at a conference on a weekend, on target, on plan, dressed, ready to go, and people who were just kind of lounging, walking around like little zombies. And part of what I was trying to explain to people is the people who are, the crazy part is the men walking around SEMA love the cars. You're talking to the owner of the car who put 50K in it, and they're like, man, that must be nice. And the guy would look at him like, well, this is just something I do outside of business so I can have something to enjoy. What is your business? And I promise y'all, most of the business owners had the most boring contractor businesses, plumbing businesses, roofing businesses, boring everyday businesses, no flashy business. Mr. Organic was just the only YouTuber I saw. I saw 2 famous Instagram guys there, and they were there. But their cars were sponsored, essentially. Like the parts on their cars were sponsored by people. And I'm sitting here like, do y'all not understand what the common theme is? You're paying $20 to $40 to pay to walk around and look at cars of business owners. Think about that. And this is just a play car. This is just a play car. 2 or 3 of them are like, oh yeah, I leave this car in Texas. My other cars are in Arizona. I don't even take this car with me when I go places. And so when people sit here and give me a hard time about business ownership and how hard it is and everybody doesn't want to be a business owner, I go, that's really the only people who are living the American dream, living in multiple states. Children are homeschooled, chilling on the chilling, right? I ran into Supercar Customs, and we were in the hotel goofing off at the Hunger Games. He was with his lady, and it was like, hey, how you doing? He was like, oh, nice to see you off YouTube, and that you talk as fast as you do online as you do in person. People that were there in Las Vegas were doing one of two things. They were zoning out, escaping out, balling, drinking. I mean, it was like one event which cracked me up is we're at this restaurant. The conference is at this part of this restaurant in the back part. And this guy and girl family is just making all kind of noise. They're whatever the Hispanic noise is. They get kicked out. The security picks them up and say, hey, you guys gotta go. Gotta go. He was like, you're racist. This is racist. And everybody at our table was like, no, you've been hollering for 30 minutes. It's not racism. You just are getting on everyone's nerves. And so you have these two things going on at one time. Vegas is this escapism place where they're coming to escape reality, right? You know, they're coming to escape reality, but then you had a whole set of business owners there spending money. The people I sat in that room, and I know I say this every time I go to a conference and y'all get mad at me. Y'all get tired of me saying this. I just did a 2-year leap year in that room over the weekend. There were people in there who they ain't even on Instagram. They flipping 3-4 houses in New Mexico. Like, yeah, you know, I just went on Zillow, or I just went and looked at the expired listings and I found them. And then I'm doing this. And you're like, how? Well, I'm just trying to figure out how do I go to the next level. I said, well, you need to market to more people. And people are like, oh, I got to put stuff on social media. I'm just so busy. I got 4 kids. I don't care about social media. I got a little Facebook. And so I'm not knocking social media because I'm on it and I use it. And I make money from it. I'm not going to front on it. Now, I ain't going to do you like that. But what I want you to understand is there were people in the room who just follow a certain set of steps every morning. That's all they do. They call around, do this and that, 5 steps, and then they go about their day. And so when I sit here and I talk to people, and every day, everybody's scamming, everybody's selling courses. If everybody's selling courses, how come you're not doing better? If everybody's got all this free information out here, why is your life not better? Why don't you own any land? Why don't you own a house? Why are you on here complaining about child support? Why are you on here complaining about dating women? There was all kind of old men out there, okay? And they had an old woman with them, okay? There were all kind of people at the SEMA event who were older business owners with an older wife, living a very regular life, except they're living the real American dream, right? T-Socks, I mean, the steps of real estate, right? So it depends on who was on stage. If somebody was talking about wholesaling, it was what it was, right? If somebody was talking about business in general, right? But majority of most businesses is, and I'll just go there. The lady I was talking about was a realtor. She just calls around all the aspires. She drives around, takes photos, reaches out to the owner, and just does that consistently. Right? She just does that consistency. Right. And then you had another guy there. He was working a full-time job and he just drove past, he just pulled up the list of expired listings, called all of them. That's it. Over and over. That's all they do. And so even in the course, Blair, which is, you're making a joke, but I get it. We're talking about digital real estate. A lot of you have a great ideal. You have great skills. And you could be putting content online and marketing your own business. You don't. Half the people there had more skills, more results, more wins than half the people I see talking on Instagram right now. There were people in that room who were getting duplexes for 150. And I said, I ain't seen people get a duplex for 150,000 in years. He said, yeah, I just called around. I just spend about an hour every afternoon calling around, And I'm like, but they were doing it every single day. 10 to 30 calls a day over the course of a year, you're going to have much different results. If you do that every day than other people, right? And Blair, yeah, I literally made a list of what I could write a course on given a few months. I'm telling you, seriously, most of y'all have enough skills with where you are today that you can really teach people. You have to understand that 99% of people are out here on YouTube looking to goof off every day. Goofy. If they can be more goofy, they could do it. They would do it. People, when they do tune in to get something ready to launch, killing the game. So what is 72 hours buyer's remorse? And then why do they write it in contracts? Because people get really hyped at the ideal of something, like, oh man, it's so awesome. Yeah, I'm going to totally buy this house. And then about 72 hours comes in. And guess what happens in that 72 hours? They go back to their normal habits. They start talking back with their family members. They start talking to their friends. And in that 72-hour window, they lose all enthusiasm for what they were going to do. That's why when I'm on here and I say, okay, write out your list of skills, your accomplishments in my classes, and can you train and teach somebody on that? Literally, if you're in my coaching class, every single one of my coaching students knows they got less than a week and a half to be able to have their coaching stuff ready by Black Friday, right? Everybody inside just a real estate course knows the same thing. Everybody in there, my expectation for you is to take the information and actually do something with it. You just taking courses to take courses is it wears yourself out. But that's because you literally quit on yourself. You quit in the middle of these courses. The course provider didn't quit on you. We all know 90% of courses aren't even finished. And people say, well, Ericka, everybody's trying to sell course. Listen to me. Everybody's not trying to sell course. Where are you at in your journey? If you come here on YouTube and you type in that you're looking to buy a course, of course you're going to see often how many times you're going to see people marketing courses because you've typed that in the search bar. It's a part of the algorithm. If you come on this algorithm and you type in everyday UFC fighter for 3 days in a row, guess what you're going to see? UFC fighter every day. And then, if you type in just about anything, it's going to feed you more of that. So I talk about law of attraction and law of expectation and law of abundance, because what's happening out here on this YouTube and in real life, people keep focusing on baby mama drama, negative stuff. Women are going to get them and spend their money and, like these crazy thoughts. And they're feeding themselves that over and over. I can't get married because they might get divorced. You'd be like, are you married? No. Are you dating? No. But I might get divorced if I get married. And so they get into this psychosis, paranoia. And it's like the more you think on it, the more you're going to get that. The more you're going to see baby mamas, the more you're going to see fat chicks, the more you're going to see all that negative stuff you keep talking about. The more you talk about losers and bums and dusties, you're going to get more dusties, honey. It works both ways. You literally have to start focusing. There you go, Hope Marshall. You have to literally focus. You have to sit here and go, all right, this is what I want. Now, if I really was going on selling course, I'd be like, look, in 5 days, I can teach you to put out a digital product. Could I teach you in 5 days? Yes. But most people's brains don't absorb like that. That's why I talk about the 72-hour rule. Listen, by the time you leave a conference, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the reason most conferences try to get you to do something on Sunday is because they know by the time you go home, decompress with the flight, talk to your wife, talk to your friend, talk to your buddy, now you're going to be talked out of what you was going to do anyway. The motivation has worn down. That's why you meet people that just go courses, go to conference. I don't. I literally go to conference and be like, what can I do today while we in here? I be talking to the man like, hey, what can we do today? This conference this past weekend, I would hand people my phone back. Put your phone number in there. Well, put your name in there. I'm going to come out there and see you. They're like, for real? I'm like, yeah, I'm not at this conference to play. I got some land lots. I got to get the building. I need, what's your name? And when you, and I tell people this, and you say it with confidence. On my Uber ride from the helicopter, I'm going, he says, hey, what are you doing? I said, listen, I'm trying to do more real estate development this year. The guy in the Uber literally is an architect. Hey, I just retired as an architect and moved to Las Vegas. And I just do Uber because I was kind of lonely. But I could do your plans for you. What's your number? I said, well, here's my WhatsApp number. Here's my information. I'll send it to you. What was the number one complaint at the conference? People couldn't get architects. They couldn't get civil engineers. Everybody was busy. Here I am. Because of the law of attraction, I'm not going to go woo, but I'm not going to go woo-woo. The law of attraction, the law of expectation, the focus, the energy, the leaping into focus and confidently telling him, this is what I'm going to be doing next year. I already met my architect who just retired, who literally has done all types of buildings, commercial, residential, everything. I actually got to look him up on LinkedIn. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And so what I tell people is you're talking about all this negative stuff. Well, you can't find this and you can't find. I don't say that. This is why when I tell y'all, I am surrounded by wealthy, accomplished, good-looking men who are doing something with their life. They show up at the conferences. They're at the SEMA. I was literally standing by one of the cars and I said, "Oh, I'm thinking about building something like this." And it was a Porsche. And the guy said, "Oh, what are you building?" I said, "Well, I really want to get a Tesla and put this wrap on it." Well, what do you do? I said, "Well, I'm a business owner." Started talking. He's like, "Honey, let me tell you, if you want to come back out here, here's my number. Here's this. Here, call me. Come on out. We'll take you out. We'll give you a good time." And when you tell people that, their first reaction is, "Nah, that can't be true. Nah, that can't be possible. You're not a size 2. You're not a white girl. You don't got hair down your butt. You don't love your Instagram model." No, but I know how to open my damn mouth and talk to people. I know how to dress well. I know how to speak to people. Majority of people you running into out here can't even open their mouth and have a conversation. That's how I know y'all don't get out the house. Because y'all out here talking something that don't even add up. Do you understand what I'm saying? You talk to people and they not even testing the theories they're hearing online. They're telling you all these women are bad and negative and single moms, and they ain't even leaving their house and talking to women. So what are they talking about? You got all these people telling you tech jobs are hard. Oh yeah, they so hard. You ask them, when's the last time you applied for a tech job? Well, I ain't applied for a tech job, but I heard it was hard. You ask somebody's uncle, hey man, well, what about trucking? Oh man, trucking so dang on hard. Well, you a trucker? No, I ain't a trucker. When's the last time you drove? About 15 years ago. Yo, there are people making money in trucking. Everybody ain't gonna make it, but there's a lot of people making millions of dollars in trucking. Oh man, everybody trying to do credit repair. That's a big ripoff. Is it a ripoff or is you not paying the creditors? Which one is it? You dig what I'm saying? And so a lot of what's going on is people are focusing on what they don't want. What's up, Nashville? They're focusing on what they don't want and what's negative and what could go wrong. And guess what? The more you focus on it, the more you'll get that. The more you'll get those problems. The more you'll get those problems. If you talk to most women, "Oh, girl, I got these kids, girl. I got these kids. I can't do anything." But yet at this conference, we had grown women who were realtors with 4 kids. One woman had a kid that was 2 years old, and she out here flipping 3 homes. And she literally said, "I can't stand most realtors because that's all they do is complain about the market, complain about stuff not selling, and they don't do anything." I just want you to understand. Most people are out here making excuses. They don't. They making excuses. John, big old money with pest control. There was one man we met. You know what his job was? He wasn't even in pest control. He sold Sprinter vans to pest control companies. So guess what he do? He called around all around the nation, pest control companies, trying to offer them a deal on Sprinter vans. I mean, literally, just the money is out there. Think about that. He thought, okay, I have Sprinter vans. Who can I sell them to? Pest control. And just calls all around the nation. I love it. Just a lot of simple, small businesses that fill in niches that make a ton of money. That's just is what it is, yo. That's right. Everybody can't be selling courses. Consistency. Well, just taking action, right? On Sunday, I was already like, okay, let me go look at some land lots. Okay. Let me call you. Okay, put your number in my phone. We're gonna meet up in a month or 2. Okay, I know it's the holidays and y'all might lose some steam, but no, don't lose no steam. I want to be able to build by January 1st. Okay. Who can I get out here and do A, B, and C? Well, even now, somebody reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, "Hey, da da da." I said, "Oh, girl, I'm gonna be building houses in January. I'm gonna be busy." "Oh, me and my husband are relocating to Austin, and he's a plumber from New York. You need a plumber? Let me know." How is that possible? Because the law of attraction, the law of expectation, the law of abundance, the law of focus. You cannot get what you are not expecting to get. If I never open my mouth to all these people and tell them, "Hey, I can't be doing that because I'm building in January," She would have told me her husband was a plumber. But it just is what it is. Oh, Sister Soldier, it's super frustrating. Super frustrating. Again, thank you, Hope Marshall. Come through with this word. I'm just telling you, the more you focus on negative stuff and what people are out here talking and in your little echo chamber and staying up in your house and never going out of your house, I'm telling you, you are going to get negativity back your way. It's just a law of expectations, period. Whenever people say, oh, I would never spend $500 or $1,000 on a course, then you ain't never going to be able to sell nothing that high either, because you won't even be willing to spend it. So you don't know what's expected inside that level of a course, and you don't know what they provide customers with. Well, Ericka, you running every weekend out to these conferences. Because why? I want to pour millions of dollars into value into others. How can I pour millions of dollars of value into others if I'm not pouring into myself? If I'm not improving myself? If I'm not growing myself? If I'm not adding onto my knowledge base? How can I pour into others? Right? I don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room all the time. That's why I go to conferences. That's why I talk to people. I go, you tell me. I'm just here listening to you. You let me know. I'm just telling you, these people, they them women's these women's is out here doing, again, y'all, it's in your head. Listen, I want to tell you, there was a man in there, and I'm being careful. There was a man in there, and he literally said, he just went out and started talking to all the women realtors. Not in a predatory way. Let's just be careful how I'm gonna set this up. But just started making conversation with them and saying, hey, I want to do this in a year. He said within 6 months, he had already made enough relationships, and the women were like, he wasn't rude or inappropriate with me or flirty. He just was making conversation, that he had his name is spread around in this group, and people were trying to help him. What y'all have to understand is you're listening to people on the internet who ain't going out here talking to nobody. They don't leave their house. They don't really communicate in any kind of community. They have no one to bounce anything off of. But they're going to tell you that don't work. How, Sway? You don't know, you don't leave your house. That doesn't make sense. I don't take advice from people who don't leave their house. I just don't. They don't know what they're talking about. That's just plain and simple. You dig? That's why when people say, oh man, Ericka, the audio needs to be better, the video needs to be better. I literally do stuff on the fly, and it's worked and made me millions. But I should take advice from you? Okay, cool. Whatever you say. Right? What you focus on expands. It really does. People got to be honest with themselves. They really do. They got to be honest. Did you message me? Hey, I do check the LinkedIn messages. I really do. Hey, thank you, Caddy Williams. Cat Daddy Williams. Caddy Williams, love your insights. So keep doing your thing, and I'll keep watching. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm taking a break towards December anyway. I'll have Kahari or one of these film guys come film me as we start to break ground on some of these projects, right? We're just trying to close the year out and close it out strong, right? So again, listen, I became a mortgage field inspector and permit runner and deed recorder. How may I assist you today is my attitude when I wake up, and you will make millions of dollars. You know why? Because there's so many people who have the attitude of, oh, I'm busy, I don't want to do that. Oh, and they just lose that energy and focus, and people feel that funky energy and don't want to work with them. I promise you, keep that energy. Keep that energy. Ricardo Roper is still viable. All these things are still viable because guess what? Most men don't want to book themselves. They don't want to broker. They don't want to dispatch. They don't want to go back and forth because them daggone calling back and forth is annoying, right? Even for my family, we're using Metro Max for the leftover trucks that my family has. I'm not being bothered with it. I have determined I will not be bothered with it. You get what you pay for, baby. You get what you pay for. You get what you expect. Right? I remember I showed somebody one of my courses. They're like, this should be $1,000. I said, don't worry. Next year, everything gonna be $1,000 because I've realized that if I make it $2, you're upset. If I make it $1,000, you're upset. So just go ahead and make it 1,000 and get. If I'm gonna have a headache from it, let it be a good headache. Thank you, Amanda. I try. I'm telling you, Blair. Again, people will tell me they want to sell a $5,000 course but won't spend $5,000. How do you know what's required? How do you know what you like? How do you know what's needed to be inside of it? How do you know what it needs to look like? I paid $7,000 for a course and these guys weren't even finished with it. But guess what they've done on the back end because they realized they weren't finished? They kept adding value. They kept adding videos, testimonials, videos. They've continued to do that. And for everybody who's in any of my courses, that's what I'll continue to do. I'll add to those videos. I'll add value to those courses. I'll keep adding to them. And you know what? Somebody will look up and be like, man, there's 100 videos in here, Ericka. But you can't say I didn't give you the value. You can't say you didn't get your money's worth. No way. There's no way you couldn't say get your money's worth. That's why when I tell you, you better get in that digital real estate course for us 1,000. Because Black Friday, everything's going to be ridiculous. I'm going to tell you now in advance. There's only going to be 2 bundles. I think one's going to be $1,000, one's going to be $2,500. Everything else you can buy individually on the website. That's up to you. That's all. Just letting you know. I'm telling you, listen. You can spend 4 hours every day on this man's internet trying to learn for free. Or somebody could give you the steps and call it a day. Kamoy's tech writing course. Unfortunately, what I've learned is when she had it for $197, some of y'all bought it, a lot of y'all didn't. When she moved that price up to $497, a ton of people started buying it every other day. Why? Because you know the value's there. You know tech jobs pay money. You know it. You just have to determine if you want to do it. Right? A lot of you don't have the organization, or a lot of people in general, maybe not my audience, because a lot of people in my audience are paying attention. That's why when DJ Money Coach comes on here, a lot of you are like, man, he gave me an assessment. He set me up. He straightened my money together. This is amazing. Again, it is. It's a good way to get around people who are good energy and going somewhere and being productive. I will tell you this, majority of the conferences I go to, when the people bring their wife and kids and the kids are in it, they're involved in it. They want to be there. They like, oh man, dad, let me come speak on stage, do something. That's the best, right? That's the best because you know their family's involved. This is a part of their life. This is their daily life. Listen, the more y'all will get, if y'all actually go to more conferences next year, I promise you, what you're going to meet is a lot of business owners who wives stay at home or help with the business and the kids are homeschooled or they're in a part-time, Montessori mixture school. That is the common phenomenon that I run into. I promise you. What's up? Last name Ross? What's up? Thank you, Big Money McClellan, for the $19.99 sticker. There you go. Congratulations. Tang Toxic said class on Thursday was fire. Listen, and here's the thing about Thursday's class. I literally, to the moment I turned on the camera, was like, oh, I'm so tired. I ain't going to do it. I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to quit on class. I got in there and I just did it. Why? Because a lot of times people make excuses for why they're not successful. And 9 times out of 10, it's them not showing up. By the time I started talking 5 minutes in, I felt better. I was like, okay, well, my stomach feels better. I'm going to keep on going on my day. But people wouldn't have known that. They would have known that didn't feel good. Because if I'd have canceled class, you'd know that. But that's the thing. People don't show up. They don't show up for their life. And they aren't consistent. Blair, I think it's actually going to be $350 next on the 12th. I think in the computer. I'm looking at the computer right now. On Friday, the digital real estate course goes from $100 to $350, and then on Black Friday, I'm not certain the prices. We've been working it out. I'll know more this weekend when I leave the mastermind and the ad building. So I'll be in Miami with like a group of 50 business owners, and we're just working on our ads and working on voice for next year, and so I made that course $100. I was going to get a few people in there and test out some product on them. And then when 460 people signed up, I was like, shit, y'all got over on me. Okay. That course should be $500, but that's okay. And again, these are the things, it wasn't finished. The course wasn't completely finished. And so all the courses that aren't finished, the coaching and stuff like that, I'm just literally adding onto it and building up onto it. But I really want you guys to understand that the reason The reason people aren't winning is because they aren't focused, right? How do you have a leap year? A leap year is when you hardcore focus. I will tell you again, I think I fell off. I didn't finish what I was saying earlier. Is so many people, it's $100 today. Again, $350 on Friday. I don't know the price on Black Friday. I'll be in my training on Friday through Sunday. The 22-year-olds that were in there, literally what he did, and he literally, you can look him up. His name is Antoine Martel. You can look him up. I'm not hiding anybody's name. He literally created, and I've told y'all to do this. Y'all didn't believe me, but I've told y'all. He created a Bigger Pockets podcast, a Bigger Pockets account, reached out to 250 people in LA. Let me say that again. LA, Los Angeles, City of Angels, Los Angeles. Reached out to them. Okay. Guess what they did? They met with him for coffee. In the City of Angels, y'all, in the place where people say it's so dangerous and you can't meet rich people, this boy reached out to over 250, more than that, but 250, right? Rich people, fancy people. And if you talk to people, oh, you can't meet anybody rich, you can't meet anybody wealthy. You know, Hollywood's so segregated. You know, nobody gives a poor person a chance. This guy met with 250 people in LA, millionaires, for coffee. He spammed so many people. I guess that's the funny way to say it. He spammed so many people. I'm just trying to be, not trying to be funny, but that's the word he wants to use. Is spammed so many people that Bigger Pockets knocked his count off 3 times. He just was reaching out. Hey, can I meet you? Can I meet you? Now, within the course of, and I'm going to be careful, within the course of, I think, 3 years, he ended up from 22 to 25. He got like 150 properties. Detroit, Cleveland, Memphis. Think about that. Just being consistent. Just reaching out. And you know what's funny is he makes fun of everybody saying, yeah, I'm trying to get this off-market deal. He literally went on Zillow every day and looked for properties that were $50,000. They would buy them. They would put $30,000 in them. They would rent them. They would get ready to get a tenant in them, and then they would sell them. They sell them to their email list. Now, what happened is when he bought his first one, and he bird until he got to 8, he couldn't burr anymore. He was out of burr strategy. I put the course inside the class, inside the chat, you guys. You can click it on there. He couldn't burr anymore. He was out of burr. He was out of money. And I told y'all this before in other videos. You'll run out of money with burr. And he had 8 properties. And his family and friends are like, what is little 22-year-old Antoine doing out here? How he get 8 properties? Can you do it for me? And that's where he took off. Now I think they're over, I don't know, hundreds of properties. Hundreds. They sell them turnkey. Martel turnkey. Look it up. Dude's 26. 26 years old. Now you're going to say, well, Ericka, he must have had some help. He must have had some family. Listen to me. Go listen to his story. What he did is he was in college, working those part-time jobs, saved the money, told the parents, hey, I want to do this thing. Can y'all cover my rent? Can you cover it? And took off running. Listen to me. I know people get mad. Oh, Ericka, you know, these people, parents must have helped them. If your family and friends just help you a little bit and you're hammer focused, you're leap year focused, you could take off and do anything. And I really mean that. I really mean that. If you really get up every day and do the same repeat task every daggone day, you can do it. You can just kill it. Kill it. There you go. Rocky B, go and get in there. Tiffany, look at that. Tiffany, Ericka's coaching class. Thank you. I just got a client. Congratulations. Congratulations. She is in my coaching class, and the coaching class is not open till again for January. So don't get in there because you're going to be late. Don't do that. There you go. I'm telling you, if you're in the digital real estate course, and I think when we finish filling out some of the stuff, because I got my new microphone, y'all been complaining, I got my new microphone. When I finish filling out some of the videos in there and cutting down that one Zoom video, I don't want to hear no excuses because you could do it. By Black Friday, what do we have? 20 days to Black Friday? Maybe less than 20 days? Anybody who's in the digital real estate course, if you watch those 3 videos and you actually sit down and do what I've talked about inside the videos, and take notes and actually assess yourself, there's no reason why you're not winning. It's just because you're not consistent. Blair McKenzie, go on, do what you got to do. Go on, do what you got to do, boo-boo. The link is inside the chat. Use old guys have to remember current. Listen, Chicken Sanders, KFC man, he was always trying new stuff. He was 65. He's 65. 65. And that chicken took off. The chicken was popping at 65. And y'all out here talking about, Ericka, I'm 41. Is it too late for me to get into tech? Girl, bye. Get off my internet. People say that stuff. I be looking at them like, you're 41. You know how many people I go meet at these conferences that are 57, just now starting something new, a new business, a new ideal, and got more energy and vigor than you do? Well, Ericka, they don't understand. I got kids. I got this other stuff. I got my pinky toe hurt. Okay, listen. You either find excuses or you find the time. Literally, I for a week and a half have been trying to onboard my new VA assistant. I literally just had to send her my schedule. I said, look at my schedule. She was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I said, I know. But today, one of my YouTube students was in town, living his best life. He came to the office and brought me some jellies from his farm. And I said, you know what? I'm going to sit down with you for an hour. We're going to eat lunch. My schedule be damned. Why? Because that's the choices I get to make. I don't have to run back to an office or a job that I don't like. I literally get to enjoy the moment. And I keep telling y'all, I will go to conference after conference, event after event, and you will meet business owners who look like they fell off the back of a turnip truck and they making $1 million in business. And it's the craziest thing you've ever seen. And the only difference between you and them is they're consistent. They're consistent. Tell you. Listen, I got a bunch of other the course is that price because we haven't had our VALR staff on to change prices, to update customer service. We got a lot of complaints today where I'm supposed to be on podcasts and I missed them. And I apologize for any podcasts that I missed, but we just, Enrique was flooding in Philippines. Stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? And people already know I'm going on vacation after December, so they're trying to get them VA. They're trying to get them podcasts in. You better hurry up while I feel like it. Everybody who has sponsorship packages with us and obligations with us, their whole time is December and November. They better come on through because we taking a break in January. Yep. The thing is, Ericka breaks it down so simply that it takes any fear out of doing business. You make it relatable and doable. Thank you so much. Girl, listen, copy paste that, send that to me in email. I'm going to make that a testimonials. Testimonials. I'm telling you, you got to let go of these. You got to let go of these excuses because I go to these events and you'll meet 6-figure people who are dumber than a box of rocks, but they just stay consistent, baby. And they stay smiling with a smile on their face. And y'all out here, I don't know if that'll work. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if I can do it. And I'd be like, they know they can do it. I don't know why you don't know you can do it. You really will. I'm telling you, you will find excuses. And I think some people are afraid of success. And why are they afraid of success? Because they'll change, their friend group will change, their situations will change. I have friends who I've kept for the past 7 years from when I was delivering pizzas in apartment management till now. Because we have core values. It was never about my job. See, a lot of y'all have friends that you hang out with that are hoodlums. You know what I'm saying? They hoodlums. Let's just go there. And now you're trying to be awake and on your purpose and can't understand why the hoodlums is tripping. Let them hoodlums go. Go on about your life. Expand, change, move direction, turn course. A lot of you have buyer's remorse because you listen to your family and your friends, you listen to somebody negative on the internet. You ever see these grown men talking about, yeah, I'm married, I'm happy. And people like, nah, you ain't happy, brother. You got a wife. You ain't happy. You'd be like, how y'all gonna tell this man who's eating food and living a good life and got children at home that he ain't happy? That's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all listening to the craziest people about your life. Think about that. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. That's why I go to these conferences. And I mean, I literally have met people and be like, hey, I'm going to fly in your town 3 weeks from now. We're going to hang out. And they're like, let's do it. Because when you start getting around people with good energy, actually doing something with their life, that's the people you want to hang out with. People always complaining about the same thing. And somebody complaining about the same problem for 4 years now. That's just what they've decided. Like, whether it's the baby daddy, they wait, they whatever, that's what they have decided. It's their course. Let them decide that. You ain't got to ride that wave with them. You really can't. You really can. So, what are some of the things I'm seeing in society? I did that video and I realized I was whispering a lot. It might have been a little creepy in that video. But I promise you, even if a lot of people are talking about NFTs and all this unique stuff you could do. And I'm going to just put it to you like this. No matter if you are excited about, getting worse on my phone. It doesn't matter if you're excited about cryptocurrency. At the end of the day, people with the hard assets that can sell them to the cryptocurrency are still going to win. Point blank period. They're still going to win. Either way. And so when people were in the comment section complaining about the people who own land, well, they ain't farmers. Who they gonna get to farm it? Let me tell y'all. Farmers, now we make jokes, we just shouldn't make jokes about sharecropping and people being able to work the land. That's coming back in style. Like when I sat here and told y'all about van life people living in tiny homes, people living remote, there are people who want to have a farm and ain't got no money. So what do? They lease a farm. They lease a farm. They lease a part of a farm. They lease a piece of a farm. They lease 20 acres or 10 acres so they can do what they're trying to do. And that's why I keep trying to tell y'all, what is old is new and what is new is old. You will still have people out here sharecropping, essentially, is what they're doing. But leasing a part of a farm to work it. So what? Him 500 and Wichita bought a big old farm. Guess what? Even if they bought 40 acres, which you really can honestly, with 40 acres, you can get 40 acres for less than 100,000, and you can get it for 50,000 in South Carolina because it ain't nothing popping in some of them parts of South Carolina. Anyway, but that's not hating. That's just saying. Even if they bought it for 40 grand, and then they get some guy in there on 2 parts of it, one guy's renting it for 10K a month, other guy's renting it for 2K a month. It makes money and it's got veggies growing on it, and they can always take a piece of that. Y'all really press to find something wrong in everything somebody's doing because that's all you do is complain. Everything you do is complaining. You complain about movies, you complain about school, you complain about police brutality. But when somebody asks you, what are you gonna do differently? Oh man, I ain't trying to do nothing different. Oh man, I ain't trying to buy no land. I ain't trying to do that. Like again, you have people on this man's internet complaining about somebody else buying land. And it's a scam. Everything's a scam. But not the fact they spending 4 or 5 hours on YouTube complaining all day is not a scam. You out here living in the matrix. I'm out here just hopping on the matrix and getting off the matrix. But you living in the matrix. I'm out here like, what are you talking about? It's a little bit different, right? We don't take sharecropping back in the day. It was hard for the actual sharecropper to have connections, right? So let's add that part to it. Let's add that nuance to it. So the owner of the original plantation that segued it out to sharecropping, he still had all the connections to get the food and crops over there, right? And so now I wouldn't call it modern day sharecropping as much because usually the people that lease the land, they're working on building contracts with Smithfield and all those papers independent of the owner of the land. Independent. But I have seen some where in South Carolina, North Carolina, where the guy has a Smithfield contract, but he doesn't want to work the farm and he leases it on to a farmer, and the farmer essentially works and the contract is not his. Contract is the owner of the lands. So yes, there are some places that are still doing that, which is unfortunate. So yeah, I mean, exactly. So John, I mean, you'll see. What people are going to learn is, even here in Texas, if you got land and you can't, I was at the event and there was a guy there in California. Now, California, prime example, the guy was in California and he said his siblings were all about going to school and going to get their PhDs and getting master's degrees and all this other stuff, right? And he had decided to just go ahead and get to work. He didn't want to go to college. And he had a 10-acre farm. And he's like, yeah, I'm the black sheep of the family. Think about that. This man is in California owning 10 acres of land, selling hay, has his own business, has his own land, but yet his siblings who are in college. That's what I'm saying. Super sarcasm. His siblings that are in college and getting master's degrees are more favored in the family. And he's Hispanic. We have this thing backwards. Okay. People who own a lot of land are the big dogs. But we brainwash people. And I think Diamond Dave just did a really great segment on education, like indoctrination, and people going to school all this time. We got all these black people walking around with master's degrees and they don't own no house and they don't own no land. And I'm not trying to be ugly, but anytime somebody talks to me about how, owning a house, Ericka, is just, you're paying taxes and the tax. I'm like, man, you don't own nothing. You die tomorrow, your family will on Facebook talking about GoFundMe. So I don't listen to those people. Oh yeah, it's just owning a house is just a tax. Listen. We're all in these apartments paying someone's mortgage and putting cash flow for them and their children in their pocket every month. Say what you will about owning your own house. You're putting cash flow in your own pocket. You're putting equity in your own pocket. Who just out of this recession, depression, made money? People who own their own home. They were able to take cash out refis. See, what happened is a lot of these landlords that didn't have any equity and had bad credit, they didn't realize how long this was going to go and didn't cash out refi. But everybody I talked to who's in mortgage industry, brokers, they've been getting calls nonstop this whole pandemic from landlords. Hey, can I cash out refi? My tenants ain't paying. So they didn't really lose. So you got these people saying, yeah, these poor landlords, they broke. No, they're not. They literally got equity. They literally got appreciation. They literally got cash out refi loans. They literally kept going on with their life. But they out here on the internet making it seem like, see, these landlords, they got, you see what happened to them? What happened to them? They still own their property. A bunch of people still own their property. What are you talking about? Right? So again, exactly. People don't understand how power works. It's not necessarily about you going to college. It's about what you own and control. Again, Christian, I talk to people and I talk about buying land further out of Austin. Oh, why are you going to do that? Just to have it. It's Texas land. You got people who 5th, 6th, 7th generation of Texans living in apartments. They mama live in an apartment. They grandma live in an apartment. They live in an apartment. I'm a Texan. No, you just live here. You're just a renter. Do you own land in Texas? Then you're really not a Texan. And I know they get mad when I say that, but I mean it. You don't own nothing in Texas. You ain't no Texan. You're just a visitor. That's why they get so mad when people come from out of state and they start owning hundreds of acres in Texas. And you mad. Well, they from California. They got a head start. Come on, bro. Your whole family been here 5 generations. When do y'all gonna start? Here we go. You know how people be doing that. If you don't agree, unfollow the channel. I really don't care. Education is a tool. That's right. They get stuck in the weeds and can't see the big picture. Yep. It does. It just gives you a lot of opportunity. And so, I just want you to understand, if you see a lot, the channel for the next, I guess we have 60 days left in the year. I'm just telling you, listen, I'm just telling you like this. For the next 60 days, we're talking about mindset. We're bringing our sponsors on to the channel. We're going to be helping people. We're going to talk on Tech Tuesdays like regular. And then by December, I really don't want to hear it. Because I told you what was about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Andre Hatchett has a great course. I've bought on Andre Hatchett tons of times. So again, what you focus on expands, whether that's good or bad. A lot of y'all got to really tune in, listen to yourself, what you're talking about and focusing on every single day. You just have to. And you can have a leap year. Every single one of those speakers that were on the stage that were young, they didn't have the fear that you guys have. You meet people who are 70, who are 40 years old talking about, am I too old to do tech? Am I too old to do this and that? That's fear talking. I don't know why you have so much fear. I don't know who put that fear inside you. I don't know if it's because you have kids and you're worried about rent and mortgage, but that's not normal levels of fear. You got to get surrounded by people who are not living in constant fear. That's not even a way to live life, period. You dig? So that's what I have for y'all tonight. I just want to tell you, every contract has buyer's remorse in it, almost 72-hour buyer's remorse, because most people lose steam within 72 hours if they're really not serious, if they're really not pushing forward. And that's just kind of what it is. In Miami, email my staff. I'll be in a mastermind most of the day, Friday and Saturday, but Sunday I have some space. I think we're done early with the mastermind, unless they go get on a boat. Which, getting on yachts and getting on boats is fun, but sometimes when you're on a boat with people that are in their 20s, they be doing too much. You be like, hey, chill out. Y'all acting real young right now. I can't be out here about to get knocked off the side of this boat with y'all. But just reach out to my staff, admin@classyclimbers.com. They'll forward your information over. Oh, the guy with Zillow, every day he would go on Zillow and he would look for houses that were 50,000. His name is Antoine Martel. You can find him on here on YouTube. He started making YouTube content and nobody watches the videos. Kid made millions of dollars. He even owns a trucking company too. That's the funny part. He was like, oh, I own a couple trucks. And I started telling my truck stories. He was like, oh, I know, because blah, blah, blah. And that's a whole nother conversation. But literally, when people say, oh, multimillionaires don't have they have 7 streams of income. They don't have 7 businesses. I'm going to tell you, y'all don't know what you're talking about. I sit in these conferences with millionaires, and they'll literally show you they own 2 big companies, and the rest they invest the money. They take money and invest it. I can show you otherwise. I'll just say it that way. I can show you a lot of otherwise. If you can sit in some of the conversations I just sat in this past weekend with people who are going, there's one guy in there, and here's the funny thing. My personal trainer talks about this, about men and people who are in business are in shape, and yeah, they're in shape. I sat in a room with 4 or 5 dudes who were big as hell, about to be billionaires, fat as fuck, about to be billionaires. And so a lot of times we have this ideal in our head that business owners are like super in shape and rich and good looking. And that's not always the case, right? We all can see life for sale dude who's a billionaire out there in Florida. You know what I mean? A big dude. Now, is it better for your health long-term to be in shape and take care of yourself and not be letting the stress of work take you out? Yes. But I will tell you, if you go to a lot of these events and talk to actual business owners, they ain't all running around with 6-pack abs. You know what I'm saying? But the guy on Zillow, what he did is every day he would go on Zillow and look for houses that were $50,000 in Midwest cities. Every day. He found them all the time. He found deals all the time. Constantly. And that's all they would do every day for a couple hours a day. Call, follow up, follow up. See if the house was still available, what was the condition, and build a team of contractors and people who could do repairs in those areas. And eventually what he would do is, and here's the thing, when people say, well, Ericka, they all got money, they don't. We literally were in the funny part of the conference. People had asked, well, where y'all getting all this money from? And half of them were like, no, we just go find the deal. If you got a good enough deal, people will get you money. And this is true. I literally have people email me to this day like, hey, Ericka, can I buy this with you? Can I buy that? I'm like, no, sorry. I'm not interested. Because people follow people that are taking action, that are doing something. And it's so rare that people are actually doing something in life that people rock with them, right? So Him 500 has a bunch of him and Wall Street Driver made this thing where they have a bunch of essentially headquarters or clubhouse groups. I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. Chapter presidents and groups in different cities and different states. So when people make this fun, like, yeah, we're going to counsel somebody. I'm like, you can't counsel somebody who has groups in every city, every state that meet under the umbrella of that person. You can't. I'm sorry. All right. Like Kevin Samuels had a Facebook group called In the Mix. They're meeting in different cities with each other. Can't cancel that person. You can't. They have real impact. They're actually really changing lives. So I'll probably share one of his videos here on the community wall, and I would love if y'all could go over to his page and put Classy Climb in the comment section, just so he know I sent you. It's just a little fun. Thank you so much. Got your notebook? Hey, get that notebook. Not right this moment. I don't have any plans. I have to check on my grandpa, but I don't know when. Well, let me tell you something, Natasha. And if you didn't see the past video I did where I was kind of whispering, mobile notaries will have a big future in crypto. When they start putting some of these properties and stuff into the vaults, into the blockchain, you'll have a lot of mobile notaries being needed. And I'll just tell you that like that. That's essentially what I heard all weekend. And I was like, holy crap. There you go. Congratulations, John. Ooh, there's also a great course called One Rental at a Time and a YouTube course. Ooh, that's nice. Martell. Yes, Martell. Honey, Martell, that's him. Canadian. Lived in California. Mm-hmm. Listen to me. I'm telling y'all. Kid's 26. Literally spent from 21 to 26 just every day. Boom, 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 boom. And, in 5 years, you're talking about hundreds of properties. Hundreds. I think I could pull up the website. Maybe let me see if I can. And what happened is now his father worked with him. People reach out to him. All right. So let me just show y'all real quick. I'll show y'all this screen and I'm going to get on out of here. Because there's so much I could tell you from the mastermind, but I'll save it for the people who are in my classes. They'll get to know, they'll get that deep info because I think that's only right. They paid. So, Let me see here. Just to give y'all an example. 26 years old, y'all. Mm-hmm. All right. Cleveland, Ohio, Memphis, Tennessee, St. Louis, Missouri, Detroit, Michigan. You can go look this up on your own time. But when y'all be sitting here like, oh, Ericka, I got to create this super cool website, you really don't. You literally can have a very simplistic website. Very simplistic. And offer stuff to people, and people love it. These are people creating jobs for them and their family, and y'all just ain't paying attention. What's gonna happen in the future? Go look this up on your own. I just was showing you real people. These are real people. Real people. And so people are like, oh, 26, they can't be doing it. Listen, you pick up the phone every day. You call people every day. You meet 250 people off of Bigger Pockets in LA, one of the most expensive markets, every other day. Trust me. People like go-getters. And it's so few in our society that when you meet one, they'll go out of their way to meet you. So that's what. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Congratulations, man. I'm telling you, my grandpa he be doing whatever he want. This man lived in Japan in the military for years. Lived in Chicago. I mean, I'm telling you, honey, he'll pew somebody in Chicago if they keep playing. But again, there you go. Listen, I I do need to create an app. I don't know what kind, but I'm thinking. If you're in my class, Barrington McKenzie, we talk about blogging, we talk about WordPress, we talk about that inside class. Come inside class. That's the only way you get it. Listen, I know people like Ericka, I don't have $100. Everybody has $100. If you don't have $100, you need to go figure out and work this weekend. Then the classes aren't your problem. Other stuff is your problem. And that's the truth. Period. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl Ericka from the Classic Climb Blog. It's been an hour and 4 minutes. I'm getting out of here. I really strongly recommend you hyper focus. You get into something. The class link, I put it in the chat. It's available. I'll put it in the description. Come on with it. Come on through. Come ready to work. Come ready to learn. If you're not coming ready to work and ready to learn, you're not going to get what you want out of it. I can make this class $7,000. It wouldn't matter, right? And I want you to understand, like, it's what you do. It's what you put in it. It's what you try. It's what you put in effort. Most of y'all could have a product out by Black Friday that was helpful to people. It just depends on if you are, right? Depends on if you are. There you go. A lot of y'all are going to come up with every excuse in the book, and I'm just telling you, if you want to win, it's out here, right? So if you're in my classes, if you're in my YouTube class, I think next week we're talking about the returns so far on my YouTube ads and Facebook ads. If you're going to be in my coaching class, we're going to be talking about how the ads are acting probably next week. We'll be checking in on whoever has their Black Friday offer ready. And then if you're in my Rise to 20%, I'm trying to see who I can have come in and teach and train. We have a couple different people who want to come in and talk with y'all for the fall, for fourth quarter. Y'all figure it out. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all gonna figure it out. Y'all gonna get in, or you're not. This is 2022 is coming up. Less than 60 days. All right, you guys. This is your girl Ericka. Classy Clown Blog. Have a wonderful evening.